After a trial which has lasted 10 days, 57-year-old Father John Lloyd arrived at court knowing that the jury would retire to consider their verdicts on the charges against him. After 5.5 hours deliberation, the jury were called back into the court and asked if they'd reached verdicts on any of the 21 charges on which they were all agreed. The foreman said they had on 11 of the charges. They'll come back to court tomorrow morning to resume their deliberations. The priest left the court tonight knowing that he'll have to wait until tomorrow morning at the earliest before he finds out what decision the jury have come to. He denies 4 charges of rape and 17 charges of indecent assault. Joe Kiernan, Wales Tonight, Cardiff Crown Court.
More news. There's been a steep rise in hospital waiting lists. In Wales, the figures have gone up by nearly 5%. The number waiting for more than a year for operations has increased by 11%, while those on the list for more than 2 years have doubled.
Meanwhile, doctors in Porthcawl have found a unique way of easing the shortage of emergency hospital beds. They've joined forces with social services to create what's being described as a halfway house. Patients who would otherwise need to remain in the Princess of Wales Hospital at Bridgend now get top-quality accommodation close to home.
It's very frustrating for patients to be stuck in a hospital emergency ward for longer than necessary when they're fit enough to be discharged. So what could be better than moving into comfortable hotel-style accommodation for a week before you go home? Angina patient Mary Gloyn has just spent 8 days in the Princess of Wales Hospital. While social services organise a home help for her in Porthcawl, she gets a private room complete with TV and ensuite bathroom in the town's Dana Graig Respite Centre. Normally it's for disabled people to give their carers at home a break. There's physiotherapy and wonderful food available too, all courtesy of the NHS.
This really has been wonderful, you know. You get your self-confidence back and it prepares you ready to defend for yourself.
Often leaving hospital is a frightening experience for people, and moving into a situation where they're able to test things out for themselves and gain that confidence hopefully means that the package of care that we're able to put in place in the long term is going to be more effective.
The project is helping to free up emergency beds at the hospital.
In terms of Porthcawl, we estimate that we probably have about 80 or 90 patients going through in a year in terms of their catchment population. So that's 80 or 90 times 3 hospital bed stays, if you like. So it's quite a significant contribution.
At the moment, it's a pilot scheme unique to Porthcawl. For the rest of us, 4-star hotel treatment when we leave hospital is just a dream. Peter Cullimore, Wales Tonight, Porthcawl.
You're watching Wales Tonight, coming up after the break.
If you'd like to know a little more about Fred Elliott and some of his secrets, join me later.
10 days to Twickenham and it's back to the training ground for Wales.
And the courage it takes to become a child of achievement.